you need to validate yourself, especially nowadays. I feel like because we live in an age where it's so much technology, and what I mean by that is we're constantly surrounded by social media, and we just have an instant connection to social media with our phones. It's right in our pockets. And so subconsciously, you'll just be on Instagram scrolling, and you'll see somebody, whether you're a man or you're a woman, you'll see a man or a woman, and you'll look at them, and subconsciously you'll just automatically pick out their best features and what you find attractive from them. And then you'll compare it to yourself. And then you'll almost even ask yourself, why don't you look like them? Or why don't you have those features that you like from them? And that's so toxic for you to do. It's such a toxic thing to do, but you don't even realize that you do it without even trying. And this is why I'm saying you need to start validating yourself. Because what people also do is they determine their self-worth based off what other people think of them. And that's the craziest thing about it, is that you let other people validate you. You let other people validate the way you feel. You let other people validate the way you look. And if they say something that they don't like based off you, your mind will find some way to agree with them. If it's negative, your mind will automatically attach itself to what they said. Because for some reason, our minds like to attach itself more to the negative than to the positive. It's easier for our minds to gravitate towards the negative than to the positive. We're just wired that way. You ever notice that when it's something negative, then your mind starts coming up with negative thoughts? If it's a negative feeling, it's just like positive. If it's a positive feeling, then your mind starts going through positive thoughts. But it's bad enough when it's negative feelings, because then it's negative thoughts. And when it comes to yourself, when it comes to you, and you comparing yourself to other people, it's automatically going to be something negative, because you're taking from them and applying it to yourself. And this is where, as people, we make a mistake, because you are uniquely you for a reason. You were made in a certain image. And because of that image that you were made in, you need to be able to accept that. It's very hard for people to do that. And I understand. For you to be able to accept yourself, you first need to love yourself. This is how you get validation from yourself. This is how you validate yourself. It's through self-love. And self-love is definitely not easy. This also comes with its own trials and tribulations. you need to take the steps for you to find that self-love for yourself. You need to go through those steps for you to be able to accept who you are. But what you need to understand is there's only ever going to be one of you in this world. There will never, ever be a copy. And if it's one thing that you need to do, is accept that there will never, ever, ever in this world be another person that is like you. So you need to understand that you are unique in that way, and that you make an impact on people's lives, whether you like it or not. It can be the simplest thing, from saying hi to actually changing somebody's life, because you do play a role in people's lives. Even if you don't know them personally, you will play a role in somebody's life, whether you like it or not. One day or another, you're gonna play a role. And it's up to you if that's gonna be a role of impact or not. And a role of good impact. Something that will leave a legacy behind. Something that will leave some type of frequency behind. Something that people can resonate with. That's up to you. And it should be that way. You need to understand that the biggest validation you can give to yourself is being able to accept everything that you do, from the good to the bad. And that you need to stand tall in confidence in everything that you do. Because it's okay to make mistakes. That's something that everybody does. You can't always be perfect in everything that you do. But knowing that you placed your best foot forward, and that you always give the best effort in anything that you do, is worth value. And you can validate yourself through that. You can validate yourself through the value that you provide up front for people. That's something that you can value. That's something that you can validate within yourself. That you do good for people. That you do good for yourself. That yeah, you might do bad. Yeah, you might make mistakes. Yeah, you might do, say, act, feel ways that you don't like. But that those things don't last forever. And that you have time to do better. And because you have the time to do better, that you will do better. That it's not going to start off as easy as you might think. When it comes to life, it'll never come easy at the beginning. And when you start finding your placement in life, and you start finding your way, you start finding how to do things, start figuring it out, that you can find pleasure in those things, and that you can validate yourself through what you do. If it's not for you, that is for other people. And that's the biggest thing, is that when you start leaving an impact on other people, but it really needs to come from inside. That what you do has to come from a place of consciousness. That's, you need to know exactly what you're doing. the intention that you're putting forward in what you do, and what kind of implication you are using for you to do that thing that you want to do, and what kind of lasting effect it's going to have. It's so important for you to understand that you don't need to find validation from other people, that you can find it within yourself if you work on yourself, if you do things from a positive standpoint. Once you start figuring out that life is nor good or bad, that it's just life, and that you're just experiencing that, and that you're just the consciousness watching the vessel experience life, and that you're able to come to the self-realization that you're just experiencing life, then you'll find out that there's way more to just the experience of life. You need to accept that there's way more. You need to accept that everything you do won't be liked by everybody, but that everything you do needs to come from a place of self-love for yourself, not for anyone else, only for yourself. And of course, for the people that matter in your life, the people that you hold dear to your heart, because that's where that self-love comes from, is from your heart, and from that center of inner peace that you find within yourself, that just pours out into life. It's a beautiful thing. That's how you can validate yourself. When you start doing things for yourself, to give yourself that inner peace, that you're just the vessel, you're just the consciousness sitting back experiencing the life, that everything is going to come in whether you like it or not, and that you need to accept that. Don't fight it, don't suppress it, just accept it for what it is, and then you move on. And then that's it. And then you do that for every single thing that comes up in this experience of life. And then that's it. You don't need to find validation from no one else. That's how you find a validation. From yourself. Once you have that inner peace, that everything just is. And that's all it will be. It's self-realization. And you will obtain that. It's not going to come easy. It might take you a while. It's an everyday battle. It's an everyday learning experience. No one gets it perfect. So I don't think you have to be on top of it all the time. You just go through it as you experience it, and you pull yourself back into that consciousness. and you find that inner peace. You find that self-love because it's there. You just gotta put in the shadow work to get there. And that you don't need anybody else's validation. You only seek it from yourself. And that's it. Remember, this is simple, not easy. Peace, y'all.